But now it's time to say good morning, Keyshawn Johnson.
What's up, Skip Bayless?
Good morning, Duck Boat Paul.
Duck Boat P in the house.
Yeah, you are in the house. And you know what? Allow me to do this. Good morning and good luck to me as a Dallas Cowboy fan, because Jerry Jones is still my owner. He's still my GM. He's still my everything. And Jerry was at it again yesterday.
Oh, my goodness.
He delivered his annual State of the Union at Cowboy Camp out here in Southern California in Oxnard, not far from where Keyshawn lives, where Paul lives. Please listen to Jerry's explanation of the infamous phrase he first used about 6 months ago, that he's, quote unquote, all in for this upcoming season. And please tell me if any of this makes any sense to you.
I'm all in. I'm all in. Sometimes being all in means you narrow. You remove the months out here that are in the future, and you narrow it down to where all we're talking about is right now and the next playoff season, and that's it for everybody. We're all in. We're all in. It's all right there. Let's okay? We all got some things out here in the future, another 2 or 3 years on contracts, all that stuff. Let's all get in here. Zero right now in this. Dak's got his year. Contract. Let's focus right here. We all got a lot on the line for that playoff game. A lot of it. So you've got to understand a weird way of looking at it.
A weird way of looking at it.
Huh?
What?
Huh?
I don't know what was just said right there.
All right. Well, let's go with Keyshawn first, because he did play for Jerry's Dallas
What are you
Cowboys.
saying right there, Key?
Yeah, would you please translate?
I'm not spending any
What
more
Jerry
money on
said?
y'all ass. That's what it is.
But what do all
He
in
gave-
mean like, I thought
No.
all in meant like,
No, not pushing everything to the table and giving.
so
the
he meant to
contract.
say all out.
No. What he has decided to do at the end of the season was use the words all in, so it ignited the mindsets of the Skip Baylesses and the Michael Irvins of the world to think that they was getting ready to go out there and spend record-breaking free agent contract money and all of these sort of things.
Right.
What he said on all in, like he said, is you've got to sometime condense things down to realize that, that's what he's telling you. Right now, here today, Skip.
So all in today.
Today.
Only today.
We ain't thinking about tomorrow like everybody else. Because we
That's
got the
amazing.
quarterback, he under contract, so let's go. You here. You got
Okay.
contract, you here.
For right
we
now.
got other guys that got 2 and 3 years left on their deals. One's missing, the other one is in camp. We're not worried about contracts. What we worried about is erasing that 30-something year history of not getting to the NFC Championship game first and foremost. We're not looking to extend the head coach. If you want an extension and you want big money, take care of business right now. And I'm willing to overpay if you do your job. That's what he's saying. Because he's tired of hearing the Skip Baylesses of the world every week coming out talking about how much money they spending, they ain't winning nothing, this, that, and the other. That's all he's saying. That's exactly what he's saying. He's not giving another dime to anybody anytime soon. So let's giddy up, let's get going, and let's try to win some games, Skip. That's what he's saying. And he will address your contract when you take care of business. And if so be it, you decide to leave in free agency because whatever reasons, then guess what? I got another guy that I could turn to, potentially in Trey Lance, or I can find another quarterback.
Yeah.
Because that's who he's speaking to.
Who do you think he's speaking straight to Dak?
He's speaking to Dak Prescott, but he's also talking to Micah Parsons, and he's letting CeeDee Lamb know, we right now ain't even thinking about your contract. That's what he's doing.
I mean, I think he put
Keyshawn, you sound like
position
Jerry's
to
press
fail.
secretary.
You asked me
I know, I got
what he
it.
said,
Yeah.
though, Skip.
All right.
I'm
But
giving you.
it sounds like that's what he said, like perform, let's see how we gonna do.
Absolutely.
But that's all based on the playoffs, because based on the regular season, they've been successful.
Yeah, but he don't care about the regular season. All this man talk about. What does this man say about the postseason record of Dak Prescott? He's 2-5.
Right.
That's all Skip harps on.
Right. Well, this happens in every sports. I feel like in sports, when you get ownership and then certain players, they get put at the crossroads, Skip, because you look and say, man, on the flip side, I have one of the best corners in the league. All right. Parsons, one of the best at his position. Dak, second in MVP. So now I'm asking myself, hey, these guys, based on their numbers, they demand high salaries. Based on their numbers. If you just throw the wins and playoffs out the window, based on what Michael Parsons, 5th most sacks in the first 3 seasons in NFL history. Dak, look what he did second in MVP. Come on now. And we already know about CeeDee Lamb. We already know what he brings to the table. So is he going to pay all this money to be mediocre is what he's saying?
That's what he's saying, because he's been doing it. That's what he's saying.
Like, is he saying, should I be paying billions in revenue and taxes and payroll and all of this
and he
to be mediocre and getting the same results? And so it was just sort of like he was just kind of flipping his tongue and saying all these other...
his tongue.
Yeah, like, that's what it said. It was confusion in one way. Say, I ain't paying nobody a damn thing until we figure it out. But how you going to figure it out if you got CD sitting out? Like, it's almost you got to pay him.
What's important to you? It's important to you to prove, because it's, as he said, it's a proving year.
CD's sitting at home and you start the season,
okay,
what you gonna do?
But here's what, unlike your sport, because I don't ever see NBA players sit at home.
Ain't no sit out.
Ain't no sit out, right? No. Unlike your sport, right? Unlike his sport, Skip. The owners in the National Football League, they play games up into pressure points. And what I mean by that, right now, there's no pressure point. Yeah. He ain't missing nothing.
Yeah.
But when he start missing them checks, see, that's what Jerry is banking on stuff like that. Because I ain't gonna miss no check. I'm Jerry Jones. My yacht is as big as this building, so I'm not gonna miss anything.
He's gonna get it one way or another.
All right, but
like
he's betting on CeeDee Lamb to sit at home, because CeeDee Lamb, there's 2 guys that I can think of right now that's not in training camp. Trent Williams and CeeDee Lamb are probably the only 2 that I can think of that's not in training camp. You know how lonely that is? When you're the only dude out chilling and everybody else is in training camp, that's what they bet on. When you ain't in the building, you sitting there with your girl or your wife, and that's it. You like...
But you know, you in the back of your mind, you know I got a... CD, like, I know I got at least 100 coming.
That's true. But he's banking on that pressure point to get to him to make him come in.
Sean, what do you always say about training camp? What does it do to your brain when you have to go back to training camp?
Oh, you don't want any of that.
He's chilling and happy to be chilling.
Exactly.
But guess what, though, Skip? That chill gonna run out eventually. Because as the season gets going, your body gets the its. I mean, I've been retired forever, and every time training camp run around, I'm like,
I understand.
What am I supposed to be doing?
Okay. Look, I preface again. I love Jerry Jones. I know him really, really well. I spend a whole lot of time with and around Jerry Jones. But this is lunacy, what is happening before your very eyes. That was scary, trying to follow his train of thought yesterday, which it can usually be scary. But this was just a bunch of misleading gobbledygook where Jerry was getting lost in his own explanation.
Yeah.
Because at one point, he's saying, let's focus on right now. Forget about all those months. Let's focus on that playoff game. He's eliminating the whole season, saying all that matters to him right now is how do we play, how do we perform in our first playoff game? Are we sure there's going to be a first playoff game? Because when you're all out for the whole offseason, when your draft left me wanting a whole lot more, and I think most people, because they did not get a good draft grade, they got one of the worst draft grades in the league. When you have done next to nothing in the offseason to make a team better that was down 27-0 in the single most embarrassing playoff game I can ever remember any team, any good team playing at home as the 2 seed, down 48-16 early in the fourth quarter at home against the youngest team in the playoffs, the 7 seed. When that happens and you do nothing to improve it or to shake it up at all, and now you're saying, I'm all in. All I care about is that playoff game. And he's talking about the next one they're going to play. Are you sure they're going to play a playoff game? Because I'm not. I'm seriously not sure because...
Well, I'm not sure they are either, but he feels good about their chances.
Okay, so on top of all this, The Athletic is reporting, to your point, CD is going to sit out for weeks. You know, that's the prediction, and he will, and he might get itchy and antsy and all the above.
He will.
Okay, well, he will.
And they're betting on that.
Yeah, and they're betting on it, but he's got his team saying, hang tough, man, because there's a whole big, we're talking about the biggest bag. Yeah. And, yeah, Jerry was asked yesterday, why didn't you extend Mike McCarthy? Why is he still the coach? And Jerry had a 2-word answer, Green Bay. That was it. Period. Okay?
Wow,
it's
fired.
because they were down 27-0. I don't know how the man kept his job after that, because that's unacceptable to me, and I think it'd be unacceptable to any other owner in this league. So the point is that Jerry is trying to explain the inexplicable, and the more he talked, the worse it got. Which brings me to the other soundbite I got to play for you and get your reaction to it, because this is a favorite phrase of Jerry's that he used to me many, many times for the books I wrote on the Cowboys. He has a high tolerance for ambiguity, meaning he's a risk taker. He's a plunger. He was able to buy the Dallas Cowboys because he was high risk, high reward in the oil fields. You plunge and you plunge. He lost his shirt. He lost it all at one point, and then he won it all enough to buy the Dallas Cowboys. And he's trying to explain that this is how he operates, and this is the league that he's trying to compete against. It requires a high tolerance for ambiguity. So check this soundbite out.
We've got a lot of ambiguity in the team. I have ambiguity everywhere in the things that I look at and do. And so I'm maybe the best thing that that God gave me was a tolerance for ambiguity. And so that's what you have. That's what it frustrates you. And in frustrating you, obviously, it frustrates fans to not have closure or to not have bright lines. That's not in my mind. That's not in my life. And so that I don't ever anticipate it getting any better with the NFL and the Cowboys. As a matter of fact, since we last met here last year, there's been even more ambiguity thrown on the table. Hello, NFL.
I'm confused here. I don't know what was said.
He's actually admitting he's a little lost right now because he's tried different things. He's tried plunging. He's tried to go arch conservative, and everything keeps changing. And now he's got 3 big contracts hanging over his head that he has not remotely addressed yet. And he's saying, I don't care because this is my life. I'm high risk, high reward. And I'm not afraid. He's saying, I'm just going to go ahead.
Yeah,
right?
I like that, though.
Okay?
I like
I'm
the
not afraid to not pay my stars and see what happens.
I'm not afraid to not address issues that people think I should be addressing, because if it's worth anything to them, they'll play at the level that they're supposed to play at to get me what I need. And guess what? I'll give them whatever. If Dak Prescott goes out there and he wins me a Super Bowl, I'll pay him, I'll give him $500 million fully guaranteed, because I don't care. If I have to pay more, it doesn't matter.
So he's willing to take the risk
100%.
to say, all right, I'm not paying nobody this year.
Yeah.
We're going to play it out. I hope that CeeDee Lamb get off that couch and say, I'm tired of sitting around. Come on the field. And if they get us to the conference championship, the championship game, then I'll pay everybody. That's what he's saying.
No problem at all. Look, as one owner in the National Football League,
that's correct.
I can guarantee you that he does not have a problem paying players.
Say they don't do well.
Then that's on them. That's what he's saying.
Dak walks.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He doesn't
now
care.
you-
Because I'm a blow it up after the season anyway.
You're going back to mediocrity.
Everybody is lame ducks in his mind right now. Everybody.
Right.
I'm not extending nobody. I'm not doing it until you show me that you can help me win a Super Bowl. And I will give you $500 million.
They did nothing to get better this year. They did nothing this summer to get better.
They must feel their roster's good.
I mean, 12-4 is good.
But they lost
good.
some of the people off the team that went 12-4.
They lost a bunch of
Yeah,
people.
they lost a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And
And
yet-
they replaced them, but Skip doesn't think they replaced them with quality players.
Okay. They have spent by far the least money through the offseason.
$5 million.